Hello, happy Advent. We finally made it. It's here. I am kicking off Vlogmas with some gift ideas that I have got on my Ravelry queue that I've wanted to make for absolutely ages, which are for the most knitworthy person in your entire life, and that is you. So I'm going to run through a few of those, and some of those are going to be things that I'm going to make, and we will see whether I actually do it over the course of December. I have a bundle that I put together on Ravelry of things that I think you could knit before the end of December, and maybe you could knit one or two things actually. So I'm going to just launch into some of the things that I want to make for myself. The first thing is decorations. So I obviously think that is the first thing that you should make before it gets too into December, because you obviously want to enjoy them this year. We last night brought out all of our Christmas decorations. So I'm going to show you a couple that I made a few years ago and which I get use out of every single year and which I think are amazing. I've got 4. Hey. First is a little snowman. I think he's so sweet with his little scarf. I've been thinking every year I want to kind of switch the scarf up and give him a new look. And maybe this will be the year that I do it. But isn't he cute? Very cute. That's one of 4. And I've got a Rudolph. And I have an angel as well. And I also have my personal favourite is Santa with his little sack. So you could definitely make yourself a Christmas decoration. I did actually, I think, make some of these for relatives and friends and family as well. And they're slightly more involved than they look. They do take a little bit longer than you think that they might, but I think they're great. And as I say, I get joy out of them absolutely every single year. So it's a gift for Christmas, yes, but a gift for every Christmas. I have some other Christmas decorations on this bundle that I'm quite keen to make this year. So I really want to make, and I have wanted to make for ages, like a tiny knitted jumper Christmas decoration, or a tiny knitted Christmas stocking decoration as well. Obviously, just a sucker for things that should be big but are in fact tiny. And I don't see what is wrong with that. Those would be great on the tree, I think, but also just great generally. He wants to get to my coffee. As I say, last night we brought out our Christmas decorations and we didn't yet hang them up, but the only thing that we did do is to fill up. We've got like a refillable advent calendar, so we filled that up with coffee pods this year. So every single day I'm having a new different type of coffee pod. And today, smell it, it's great. Today we've got chocolate, but there's 5 different flavors that are kind of randomly interspersed over the course of the month, and we're each having the same coffee together, which is quite nice. I think I don't really fancy having chocolate in the morning, but I do want the chocolate coffee every single morning. The second category of thing that I think you should make yourself for Christmas is a hot water bottle cover. And I've never made one of those before, but I tell you, I really want my hot water bottle out, and I want it to be slightly less ugly than it has been for a while. The one pattern that's been on my list for ages is the Laura hot water bottle cover, which is like a really nice gingham sort of design, and it uses DK weight yarn. So I don't know about you, but I've got absolutely tons of kind of remaining scraps that are slightly too substantial from a DK weight from old jumpers. So like half a skein here, half a skein there, and I think that would be a really good chance to use some of that up. I think the one thing is it only really looks good with that kind of oatmeal background, and I don't have any colour like that, so I would have to get some just to play off any of my old remainders. but that's going to be something that I'm going to make for myself this year, I think. Again, I think these would be really good gifts for other people, but taste is taste, isn't it? And not everyone's going to appreciate a knitted hot water bottle cover the same way that you will. So I would just make it for myself. The third thing on the same theme is to make yourself a hat. Because, and I know that's quite basic, but I don't have enough hats that are just like warm enough to just wear outside. And also this one, the grow hat, I think this is quite popular. You've probably seen this before, it's been around for a while. The grow hat has been on my list for absolutely ages. It's by Fiber Tales. And again, it uses a DK weight yarn. So all the little sort of scraps that I'm talking about that I have, that would make a really good grow hat. I'm going to show you an example. I have like a skein and a bit of this West wool, I think it's called Tandem. Yeah, Tandem. Of this West wool yarn that I used to make a jumper earlier on in the year. And which I think need to become, because it's nice yarn, I want it to become something that I actually wear, probably a bit more visibly, and also not something that I kind of bundle in with loads of other stuff. I think it's standalone. So maybe it would be a nice grow hat. We will just have to see. That would be something that I want to make for myself over the next few weeks. I'm actually kind of itching to cast that on as well. I'm really excited to have it, and I'm also really excited to make it. I think the design looks really pretty. It looks quite, obviously quite quick, quite simple. I'm eager for that one for sure. The fourth category of thing is a Christmas stocking. And this is one where I have struggled to find ones that I really like. What I really want is a kind of Fair Isle Christmas stocking. So if anyone has any recommendations for that, I would love to hear them. I've landed on this bulkier kind of cable design. This is quite old. It's called Christmas Stocking 2020. I think it's quite festive, but still quite classy. A lot of the Christmas stocking designs I find to be a little bit cartoony. Maybe it's just the colours people choose don't really do it for me. But I think this all over one colour cable stocking, that would be really, really, really fun. And I think, yes, again, I make it for myself. It's a great gift because it begets further gifts. But also it would be a good thing for like everybody to have matching ones in the family, if you could be bothered to make a new one for a single year. Which I'm actually really notorious for thinking, oh, I'd love to make 5 or 6 of these things and then getting bored on the third one. So that's my advice if anybody is gift knitting for anybody else this season, is try and mix it up. Try not to be like, I'm going to make 3 or 4 pairs of something. Instead, just say, I'm going to do one for one person, and then if I don't like it, I'm going to do one for somebody else, instead of trying to make everybody matching things. Because I promise you, if you're anything like me, you will get bored. You will get bored when you're doing those middle ones. But stocking, what an innovation. Wouldn't you like a stocking made for you for Christmas? Okay, the last thing I think you should make yourself over December, and which I am going to be making for myself and I'm going to be casting on this very evening, is a pair of sailor slippers. I know nobody needs any encouragement to make this pattern, but if you did need any encouragement, consider this to be your sign. Yesterday I bought some yarn in order to make some sailor slippers, which is a bit of a break because almost all of this year I have not been buying yarn. I've been on a yarn ban, but I couldn't quite make it work from stash and I really want them. And I thought, you know what? It's going to get used before the end of the year, so it feels okay. It feels okay to me. But I have a bunch of different colours, and I probably need your help to decide what I'm going to cast on this evening. So I bought 5 different colours. You need pretty much a bowl for each part of the design. So if you were going to do classic version, it has a sort of statement I-cord rim around the ankle, and then some stripes, and also the sole. So you need kind of 4 colours. And what I am thinking is to have this really lovely raspberry colour with this white as a stripe, and then have, I think probably, or maybe this green as the sort of rim around the side, and this purple for the sole. So that would look like these 4 colours all together. I also have this dark green, which I did buy thinking it would be the rim around the side. But for me, it just didn't really go very well. It kind of stood out against all the others, like it felt a bit too dark. And the one thing that I do know is that I want to use this pink. I'm definitely sure that I want to use this pink. So it kind of had to go with that. I think kind of standalone, those two go quite nicely. But if you have any opinions, tell me what you would rather I do. Tell me what you would do out of these 5. That is if I ever find my 8mm needles. Because I don't ever knit anything on 8mm needles. I don't think this would be my first time, I think. I have 9mm and 12mm for chunkier projects, but I've never needed to have anything different from an 8mm. And I think, as I say, I have 9, and I think I have 7.5, so it's going to have to be on one of those, I reckon, once I play about with gauge and so on. So there you go. There's maybe some inspiration if you're thinking about making something for yourself, making something for anybody else. I'd love if you would follow along with my December and see whether I actually come good on any of these promises to myself. And if you are knitting for somebody else, tell me how you currently feel about it. Because if you started a sweater, I think today might be a bit too late to do that. So you probably better be a good way of the way through. Anything here though, and anything in that bundle, you've got plenty of time to make. So don't stress yourself out, guys. Keep it light and breezy, and happy knitting.